Okay, one thing I think I forgot to mention in the last video when we were in Adobe Bridge, to see a larger preview of a selected item, you would choose Window and then Preview Panel. You go Window and then Preview Panel. The reason I'm telling you that is because it's a quiz question and I'm not sure if I actually said it. So, you're welcome. Now we're going to work on straightening and cropping the image in Photoshop. We're going to use the crop tool to straighten, trim, and scale the photograph. By default, cropping deletes cropped pixels. If we don't want to delete the cropped pixels, let me show you what we would do. It's called non-destructive editing. So click right here and there's your crop tool. When you do that, you see that there's some crop handles appear and a crop shield covers the area outside the cropped region to help us focus our attention on the cropped area. This button right here where it says delete cropped pixels, if you want to do it non-destructively, you would uncheck that. You'll probably see that again over and over. Now, in the options bar, yours probably says ratio. We're going to click that and change it to width by height resolution. And we want this to say 7 inches. So type 7IN. I'll press the tab and then 7IN, 7 inches. And then we want this to be 200 pixels per inch. That's the size of this. The pixels per inch value sets the resolution for print. To crop for web mobile graphics that do not specify PPI, you can leave that resolution field blank. So the first thing we're going to do is straighten the image. What we need to do is right here where you see straighten, we're going to click this little icon right here. And mine is not clicked. You see that when you move your mouse down, it changed it. We're going to go right to the top left-hand corner. We're going to click and hold down our mouse and drag it over to the other corner of the image right there. So we have a line that's straight across the top, and then let it go. Look at there. Straightened up the image. Now we use the sky, or that you could use anything in here. Like if you wanted to use the top of that little wall that's on the bridge or the bottom of it, you can use anything that's in the picture to straighten it. It was easy for us to do that. So Photoshop straightened the image so the line we drew is parallel with the top of the image area. Now we're going to trim the white border and we're going to scale the image. So drag the corners of the crop rectangle inward to crop out the white border. So we're going to click right here, drag that in, and we're going to click over here, drag that in. I see that we got a little bit over here, so I can click and drag. Now you can also, if you can move the image around, but just by clicking it with your mouse and holding down and dragging it. Once you've got this like you like it, you can press enter or return, or you can do this checkbox right here. And when you do that, you see down here hopefully you can see down here, it's 7 inches by 7 inches and 200 pixels per inch. If you don't have that, if you click right there, you can do document dimensions and it would tell you right there. Now that we've got it the right size, let's click File and then click Save. We already have it saved as a working copy. The little asterisk went away, so we know that we've saved everything that we've done to this point. We're now going to adjust the color and the tone of our image. We're going to use the curves and levels adjustment layer to remove the color cast and adjust the color and tone in the image. The curves or levels option may look complex, but don't be intimidated. You'll work with them more in later lessons. For now, you'll take advantage of their tools to quickly brighten and adjust the tone of the image. In the adjustments panel, so go over here to your adjustments panel. Doesn't normally look like that. Yeah, it normally looks like this. Doesn't matter how yours looks, as long as you can see all these things. And yours, if you're on a Windows computer, may look a little different. I want this here so we can see what they actually look like. We want to click the curves icon, which is this third button right here. This adds a curves adjustment layer. So you see right here, here's your curves adjustment layer, and its controls appear in the properties panel right here. We want to select the white point on the left side of the properties. See where it says white point? This one is gray point. This one is black point. So we want to select this one right here. We're going to sample a white point in our image. So you see now that we've got the eyedropper tool. Click a white stripe on the girl's dress. I'm going to first zoom in on this some. If yours is small and you want to zoom in, you can. So select this white stripe and watch what happens when you do. You see how it brightened things up? The white point defines what the color value should be made to make it a neutral white. Once that's defined, all other colors and tones shift accordingly. When done correctly, this is a quick way to remove a color cast and correct image brightness. To set an accurate white point, you got to click in areas that should be the brightest neutral area of the image that contains detail, not a blown out area like a sun or a lamp, and not a specular highlight like a reflection of the sun or chrome. You could also click on, if you want to click different places where you see white in this image, you can see how it adjusts each one of them accordingly. But go back to the white of this dress. Or if you want something different, you can do that as well. Now we're going to use a levels adjustment to refine the tonal range of the image. In the adjustments panel, we're going to click the levels icon. So go back to the adjustments, and here's your levels icon. So click that. It opens what's called a histogram, which is a graph displaying the distribution of tonal values in the image. From black on the left, you see these little triangles? There's black on the left to white on the right. For levels, the left triangle, I just said that. We want to drag the left triangle, which is the black point, over to the right. And I'm going to go to about 15. You don't have to go to 15. I'm going to 15, but do drag it to the right some so you see an adjustment. Drag the middle triangle to the right to adjust the midtones. So go to this one, and we're going to drag this one, and I'm going to go to about 90. If you want to do 90 like me, you can, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. So that's the adjustments that we're going to make. Now we're going to flatten the image so it's easier to work with while you touch it up. When you flatten an image, it merges all of its layers into the background layers. The only time you want to flatten is if you no longer need the flexibility of adjusting the edits you previously made using the separate layers. Flattening also removes content hidden beyond the visible edge of the canvas. For example, if you use the crop tool with the delete crop pixels option displayed, flattening removes the hidden pixels that the crop tool preserved. So you have to be very careful. So you see we have our layers here. Go up here to choose layer. Yes, I just got a text. And then flatten image. And you do that and you see that our adjustments that we made have been made, but we no longer have those on there. So know that when you specify a white point, it changes all the colors in an image.